KMTV Action 3 News.
Now at 5, he is now the convicted Creighton killer after a jury found Anthony Garcia guilty on all 4 murder charges.
Garcia had his glasses off and showed almost no emotion as the clerk read the verdict. KMTV has team coverage tonight. We begin with senior reporter Jake Wazakowski with the verdict. Jake?
Craig and Jen, family members of the victims, wept quietly as they heard the verdict rendered down by the jury guilty, read a total of 9 times. The jury deliberated into Tuesday night and today, ultimately finding Anthony Garcia guilty on all 9 counts. County Attorney Don Klein couldn't hold back his own emotions at times. Prosecutors wanted to thank the detectives who never gave up on the case, even when those Dundee murders went cold. They say the jury worked hard, listened, and they're very appreciative of what they did to reach a guilty verdict.
It's a great feeling because we've waited so long. There were a lot of roadblocks put in the way here to get this accomplished and get this trial finished.
Garcia didn't have much reaction throughout the trial. Once the verdict was read, the defense says there will be an appeal. Now, the jury will be back on Friday to decide if Anthony Garcia will be eligible for the death penalty. I spoke with legal analyst Randy Paragas a little bit earlier, and he told us that some of those aggravators are there, including one, which is a child was killed in these crimes, and 2, a crime was committed to conceal another crime, in this case, murder. Reporting live at the Douglas County Courthouse in downtown Omaha, Jake Wazakowski, KMTV Action 3 News.
Shortly after the guilty verdict this afternoon, Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert released this statement. The Hunter and Sherman, as well as Brumbach families, have waited years for this guilty verdict. I hope the end of the trial provides solace for these families. The verdict represents a thorough investigation by the Omaha Police Department task force created by Chief Todd Schmatter. The strong case presented by Douglas County Attorney Don Klein and his staff, and the thoughtful work of the jury. Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmatter made this statement on Facebook. I was confident all along the citizens of Douglas County who comprised the jury would sift through the evidence and theatrics to find the right verdict, and they did. As we move forward, we are left to remember the victims, and there is no need to mention or worry about Anthony Garcia any longer.
For the family of Shirley Sherman and Thomas Hunter, they've been waiting 8 years for someone to be brought to justice for their deaths. Today, Anthony Garcia was convicted of their murders along with the killings of Roger and Mary Brumbach in 2013. Reporter Emily Zink is live at the courthouse with reaction. Emily?
Well, Jenny, as soon as that first guilty verdict came down, the families began to embrace and weep in the background. Many were too emotional to talk about Garcia's conviction, but Shirley Sherman's ex-husband, Mike Sherman, he had no problem hiding his emotions today. As Sherman walked out of the courtroom, he praised our justice system and exclaimed, "Justice is served."
I had mixed emotions, more for my kids than for myself, but he got what he deserved.
Anthony Garcia's mother, father, and brother were also in the courtroom as the guilty verdicts came down.
Do you have anything you want to say about that verdict?
No.
Anything? You still think your son's innocent?
It's a fair trial. That's all we can go by, you know?
That was Garcia's father. Again, his defense says they will file an appeal coming up at 6 o'clock. It took the FBI and the Omaha Police Department years to crack this case. Hear from Chief Schmatter what he has to say about the verdict. Live at the Douglas County Courthouse, Emily Zink, KMTV Action 3 News.
And there's more tonight. Despite the outcome of the statewide vote on capital punishment in 2 weeks, the death penalty is a possibility in this case. They point to aggravating factors in the case, the prosecution does. There was more than one murder. The killings were heinous, and they were meant to conceal the killer's identity. The jury will meet on Friday to consider those factors. Here in Nebraska, a 3-judge panel would have to impose such a punishment. KMTV will continue to bring you the latest developments and have more reaction as it comes in to the conviction of Anthony Garcia. To catch up on all our coverage, we have posted stories and videos to KMTV.com. You can also see more by downloading the KMTV News app.
Now, your Weather Alert First Forecast.
Well, it's been a much cooler day today. At least parts of the state, even into western Iowa, some much colder air has invaded the area, but not everybody is experiencing temperatures in the mid to even upper 50s. Areas like York managed to make it to 68 degrees. That's where you're sitting right now. Even Beatrice is at 66, and Lincoln is experiencing 63 degrees, so very comfortable in some spots. We've been pretty overcast for a good portion of the day, but the skies will continue to clear out. Temperatures will keep falling off into the low 50s here by around 8 to 9 o'clock in the evening. Chilly start to your Thursday morning, but a major warming trend will continue to take place here over the next several days, and we will start warming temperatures up. I'll show you which day we could get close to near record high temperatures.
We are getting word of some breaking news on KMTV going on right now. Omaha police are investigating a report of a shooting. All we know is it happened just before 5 near 30th and Chicago. We have a crew heading to the scene. As soon as we get more details, we will bring them to you right here on KMTV.
With the unseasonably warm temperatures we've been having, snow is likely the last thing on your mind. But the city is making sure it's ready when the first flakes fall. Omaha is rethinking the plan to keep roads clear this year. The mayor's office has released updated guidelines for snow removal. Megan Hahn joins us with more. Megan?
During a press conference this morning, the mayor's office says they plan on taking a more aggressive approach toward dealing with major snow events. The city is using data gathered from a survey-based study by the consulting agency QEM to revamp their snow removal plan.
I mean, you're from Nebraska, so you expect it.
Ask most people in Omaha, and they have some strong opinions about winter driving conditions.
If there's a major snowstorm, they pile the snow up in the middle of the streets before they haul it out. So it kind of makes it difficult for people that don't use the crosswalks and cross the streets, or even turning in or turning around.
That's why the city commissioned a pro bono study based on community feedback. About 2/5 of people sent the survey responded, and answers ranged from "I've not seen any major problems" to "what a mess." The city is using this input to make some major changes. They're adding 16 additional employees to the street maintenance department, replacing 14 trucks, and they'll begin plowing neighborhoods when more than 2 inches of snow builds up.
I just see dedicated people coming out there every day and giving 110%.
And while it's too soon to tell how these changes will impact your snow day commute, one thing's for certain: it won't be long before those first flakes of the season start to fall. The snow removal study cost the city about $4,500 for administrative costs like postage. Mayor Gene Stothert said the changes to the city's snow removal plan are included in the 2017 budget. The mayor's office is working on a figure for the total cost of those changes. Reporting live in studio, Megan Hahn, KMTV Action 3 News.
Oh my gosh, some of that video makes me bristle at the thought that winter's not far off. Omaha police hope surveillance video will help them catch 2 brazen bad guys. This video you're about to see is from AB's 66 gas station at 49th and Underwood in Dundee. Last Wednesday, 2 guys robbed the place at gunpoint. They ran away with the money. Police also released surveillance video of the robbery at Abelardo's. That's near 118th and 4th in northwest Omaha. Happened early yesterday morning. A man entered the restaurant, held it up at gunpoint before leaving in a dark-colored car. Anybody with information should call Crime Stoppers.
Tomorrow, the community will gather in honor of the Spear family, killed in a house fire nearly a week ago. Family and friends are planning to gather at Conestoga Elementary for a balloon release. Mike and Michelle Spear and their 4 young daughters died when fireplace embers sparked the fire near Nehaka. A funeral was held for the family yesterday in Bellevue.
Hey, this is great. A celebration 100 years in the making today at Boys Town. Nearly 2,000 employees helped kick off the events. Although the actual 100th anniversary is not until next year, they are using the entire year to celebrate the nationwide effort to help troubled youth that started on an Omaha farm way back in 1917. Boys Town assists 40,000 to 70,000 kids every year with a variety of services, from unique hospital treatments to helping kids in troubled homes and those who do not have parents.
It was supposed to be the last congressional public forum in Omaha between Republican Don Bacon and incumbent Democrat Brad Ashford. But Ashford did not show up due to what his campaign calls a scheduling conflict. Bacon fielded questions at Big Mama's Kitchen at 45th and Bedford on issues from police and race relations to why Bacon is supporting Donald Trump for president. The former brigadier general says he can't vote for Hillary Clinton because he would have been arrested if he had put classified information on a private server. Bacon also addressed questions about race relations across Omaha.
I know that we have a problem in our country. When you look at unemployment rates, victimization rates, our African American community suffers. And we can't just sit idly by and let that happen. We're brothers and sisters in this together. And I do believe that when one part of our body hurts, the whole body hurts.
Well, community members in North Omaha grilled Bacon on how bad they perceived Donald Trump would be as president. The group also heavily criticized Hillary Clinton. In the era of social media, it's trendy to take pictures of yourself when you go to vote.
Where you can legally do it, but how a quick snap might get you in trouble in certain places. That's next.
And temperatures this afternoon, now going into the evening, are some 10 to 20 degrees cooler than what we were experiencing yesterday. Highs in the 70s. Right now, we are in the mid to upper 50s across the metro. I'll show you what you can expect for your Thursday morning.
You're watching KMTV Action 3 News with Jennifer Griswold, Craig Nigrelli, and weather with meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin. This is KMTV Action 3 News live at 5. Tonight on KMTV, Survivor, Criminal Minds, Code Black. Then stay for Action 3 News live at 10. Brought to you by Rebath and 5-Day Kitchens. Remodels right down to the studs. Action 3 News mobile storm tracker powered by Jensen Tire and Auto.
Like all typical politicians, Brad Ashford loves spending your money. Ashford supported almost doubling his own pay and sticking you with the bill. Must be nice. Ashford even tried to spend hundreds of thousands of your money on a golf tournament. No surprise, an official audit found Ashford wasted nearly $1 million at the Omaha Housing Authority. Brad Ashford, he takes care of himself with your money. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We've always been about independence. So it's troubling to see Don Bacon struggle to give examples of how he'd be independent in Washington. He'd just be more of that same old Washington partisan gridlock. Worse, Bacon called for cutting Social Security and Medicare by raising the retirement age. Don Bacon would make Washington worse. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We have been in business for over 40 years. We try to do right by our customers and employees. But the fact is, Obamacare isn't helping small businesses like ours. That's what happens when laws are passed without bipartisan support. Brad Ashford wasn't in Congress when Obamacare became law. Brad's working every single day with Republicans and Democrats to demand fixes to Obamacare. Because working together across the aisle is the Nebraska way.
I'm Brad Ashford, and I approve this message.
If you're in a wreck, call Intertech.
Accidents happen, and Intertech is here to make sure you get back on the road as quickly and safely as possible. Our 7 locations in the metro will allow you to get the same great Intertech personal care on your vehicle with a faster turnaround. And Intertech Snapshot Estimator web app lets you easily upload images of your accident to get the estimate process started even sooner. So keep us in mind for the next time.
If you're in a wreck, call Intertech.
Brought to you by Intertech Collision.
People who want to snap a picture of themselves when they cast their vote could get in trouble with the law. It's being dubbed the voting selfie. That's showing up on social media. The law varies from state to state. Here in Nebraska, it is legal to snap a selfie and post to your social media accounts, but it is not legal in Iowa. Scott County election officials in eastern Iowa came up with a way for people to take pictures outside of the polls.
Not allowed, or you're not supposed to take anything in the booth with you that will allow you to do so. And then when you come out, hey, get in front of the selfie poster.
The selfie station is a fun way for people to not have to worry about getting in legal trouble. Several states both allow and ban ballot box selfies, and in some states the laws are unclear or allow pictures of mail-in ballots.
Which leads to this: with 13 days to go until Election Day, whoever wins has work to do to heal a country divided after a tough campaign. Craig Boswell has the latest.
Donald Trump cut the ribbon at his new luxury hotel in Washington, D.C.
Under budget and ahead of schedule. That's what we did.
But Hillary Clinton says she knows why Trump was able to finish the hotel under budget.
He relied on undocumented workers to make his project cheaper.
The accusation is just the latest in what has become an extremely divisive campaign. Both Trump and Clinton accuse the other of tearing the nation apart, and both claim they can fix it.
I want us to choose a path that is confident and optimistic, because I really believe America's best days are still ahead of us.
We have to choose the most optimistic path. We have to choose to believe not our politicians that in many cases truly don't know what they're doing, but to believe in ourselves and in our country.
Scott Mulhauser is a fellow at Georgetown University.
Elections are notoriously nasty, and this one sure fits the bill.
He says there are things the new president can do to unite the country.
There are things we share in common. There are things on things like the economy and jobs. People can work together and get things done. The country wants to see that. The country wants to see solutions.
Neither candidate is likely to stop the attacks with 13 days remaining to campaign.
Craig Boswell reporting. The White House is responding to National Guard members ordered by the Pentagon to pay back enlistment bonuses. Have you heard about this? The White House says President Obama has warned the Defense Department not to nickel and dime service members. Defense Secretary Ash Carter has ordered the Pentagon to stop seeking repayments of the bonuses. Thousands of National Guard soldiers received them a decade ago after they signed up to serve in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Pentagon demanded the money back after audits revealed overpayments by the California National Guard.
Weather alert meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin is here now, and a little bit cooler, but you know, it still has just that fall feel, which isn't so bad.
With the overcast skies, it was like the trees hit the gas pedal on losing their leaves today.
They're blowing all over the place,
It's
and the
raining
wind
leaves.
and the wind's not helping either. But you know what? If you look at the state right now, the temperatures are crazy. Look at these numbers.
that.
It's 57 in Omaha. Then you just travel to Columbus at 64, and then we bump it up to 74 in Grand Island, and we have 77 from Scottsbluff to Chadron. This warmer air over the central and western part of the state will be making a run into the eastern half by tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a much warmer day. So, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this brief little cool snap, because it doesn't last for very long. Ridge of high pressure that's been hanging out across the west will keep expanding once again, allowing this warm air to funnel in not only into Nebraska, but even South Dakota, North Dakota for Thursday into Friday. Temperatures are going to be some 15 to 20 degrees above normal all the way into the northern plains states. But there is some cooler air that will be arriving on Saturday. Well, I guess you could call it sort of relatively cooler. Overall, temperatures are still expected to be above normal, even in the 70s, close to 70 degrees Saturday, and a little stronger push of some cooler air will be arriving on Sunday, allowing this warmer air mass to retreat further to the south. But overall, temperatures are expected to be above average. Live look right now from our Harrah's Casino cam, and you can definitely see the cloud cover has hung in there pretty tough today. Sunset is occurring right now, and the camera's bobbing all over the place thanks to those northwesterly winds out of the north right now at 14 miles an hour. We have 57 degrees, 72% humidity, and the dew point sitting at 48 degrees. That's been holding pretty steady. And what that will do for us in the morning is possibly provide us with some fog. We will continue to keep seeing some clearing taking place. That's why we did warm things up a little bit more just off to the west of us. Clearing skies are beginning to occur across the area. Dry conditions for the remainder of tonight. Didn't really see a whole lot as far as the activity late last night, early this morning. There's the fog forming as we go through around 8 o'clock in the morning. May linger until about 10 to 11 o'clock. It'll burn off. Mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. Those south winds, Fairly light south-southeast, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, will help to push in some warmer air across the area, and so afternoon high temperatures will actually be way above normal. We start the morning off kind of on the cool side, though. 42 from Wayne, Denison about 40 degrees, 45 in Nebraska City, Lincoln about 44. Winds north-northeast about 5 miles an hour, but then they really start to shift in the afternoon. Southeast 5-10 miles an hour, which will help to bump us up into the upper 60s to low 70s. And keep in mind, our normal high this time of the year, at least around this time of year, be about 60 degrees, so we're going to be almost some 12 degrees above average. 45 in the morning. That clearing still taking place tonight. Patchy fog. We'll continue with some fog again until the mid-morning hours. That'll burn off. Mostly sunny and those light winds from the southeast. As far as what's in store for your Friday, we warm it up even more. It's going to make a run close to 80 degrees. Wouldn't be surprised if some spots get close to some record territory. The record high on Friday, 84. We're going with about 80 degrees, 70 on Saturday. A weak dry front passes through, more of a wind shift from the north. That will push in some cooler air for Sunday, but still fairly mild with highs in the mid 60s. And then we're looking at Monday. Boy, Halloween, pretty amazing, 76 degrees. Oh, boy, that wrap up the month of October. I'd say that's pretty good. And then even early November, not too shabby either with highs in the mid 60s.
Yeah, we're even getting an encore.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
So nice.
As more Catholics turn to cremation, the Vatican issues new guidelines for what to do with the ashes.
What the church says you can and cannot do, and what's preferred for those remains.